Now will we see the magic?
All right, where's Murray? Okay, who is it?
This is Jesus, kid.
Know then that it is the year 10,191.
Yes, we are bored. We're all bored now.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Hello, and welcome to Mary vs. the Movies with your host, Mary Jones.
And Dennis Ling.
And I am so tired of anything that has any gravity to it. So I'm going to watch the most weightless movie I could think of. And actually, I didn't even think of it. My sister thought of this, and I am so grateful.
Is this another Werner Herzog?
No, although I kind of do want at some point to cover, what's the documentary about making Fitzcarraldo?
Oh, yeah, I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but we're absolutely going to do that at some point. No. We're going to watch a little movie called Chopping Mall.
Ah, yes. Fanny and Alexander, Fitzcarraldo, The Dead, Chopping Mall.
Absolutely. Look, you're joking? I need this right now. Things are so stupid. Things are so bleak. I need stupid and fun.
I heard this was a very intelligent satire of the...
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you really? Because I have a feeling this is going to make Night of the Comet look like Dr. Strangelove.
I gotta say, this thing is... It's kind of a losing battle to try to stand out amongst horror...
Yeah.
Like mall movies, because we already have Day of the Dead. It's the best
Night
one.
of the Comet. Like this is like kind of falling down in the tears.
Yeah.
I don't care. Look, I've seen those other movies.
Night of the Comet had other stuff.
Night of the Comet had other stuff.
Because it has the, like LA wasteland look. That was great. Dawn
of the Dead has Pennsylvania wasteland, which I grew up in, so, close to my heart.
Yeah.
But as I suppose, pretty much any George Romero movie will always be.
Boys of Brazil just ends up being a George Romero movie at the end.
Yeah, still weirded out by that. Boys of Brazil it's still great. Go watch it.
Yeah.
But no, okay, so Chopping Mall, look, I don't know much about this movie. I know it is teenagers are in a mall being hunted by, alternate title for the film, killbots.
Yes.
And I would not have thought anything of the term killbots except fan of the show. I think I can say that. Friend of the show. Hopefully someday we'll have her on. WPRB DJ Lizbot.
Yes.
Has, I guess, did she name herself after the killbots?
Probably.
Yeah.
Not knowing her. Yeah.
But also every
She's
Halloween.
usually in the know.
She's definitely in the know. But also every Halloween she does a show where Lizbot is gone and Killbot takes over.
Yeah.
And obviously Killbot must have some relationship with this stupid movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know a whole lot about this film. Here's the things that I do know. That's right. I'm coming right out of the gates.
All right.
I know a couple of things. One, teenagers amuck in a mall, hunted by robot security guards. Now look, I was a mall rat. I was a teenager in the 90s. 80s and the 90s kind of bleed together. I actually worked at the mall, much like the kids in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I worked at a bookstore and a couple different record stores. Okay, so I'm well acquainted with the mall. I still like malls. They have fallen out of favor for a lot of different reasons. I hope they have a resurgence because I kind of like malls. But
what I always liked about malls is the passages behind the stores.
Oh God,
like
yes.
the tunnels.
There was a special passageway that I could take from my place at Jean's Bookstore in the King of Prussia Mall back way up to the Nordstrom's, where they had a special cafe and you could buy scones for 25 cents. Even in 1999, 25 cents for a scone was insanely cheap.
Yeah.
You don't understand how cheap the coffee and scones were because they knew that I worked in the mall. I loved working at a mall. I really did. So no, I'm excited to watch a movie set in a mall. Dumb as it's going to be. I don't care. So that's number one. Two, it's directed by a guy. I don't remember his name.
Oh, Wynorski.
Yeah. But he made nothing but schlock.
Wynorski.
Yeah, he made a lot of schlock. Do you know one of the schlock things he made, though?
What?
Munchie.
What's Munchie?
Munchie. Okay, if you, like us, are fans of MST3K and you followed the reboot from the last few years, like, I don't know, last 5
Oh, wait,
7
I think
years.
I know what you're talking
Yes,
about. Yeah.
this is the movie. Dom DeLuise voices a terrible alien.
Oh, no.
And there's like a kid, and his mom's played by Lonnie Anderson, and his little girlfriend is Jennifer Love Hewitt. It is an extremely bad movie
Yes.
that I find fascinating, and I have watched more than once. Munchie is a bad movie,
It
but
is.
I kind of love how bad it is. And I, Dennis, I swear to God, I could watch Munchie right now if I had to. It is a terrible
Don't
movie.
do that to your mom.
But I am so. My mother's
We
gonna.
decided to watch this instead.
Yeah, I know. My mother's watching Chopping Mall with us, which is not necessarily my decision because she's not going to enjoy this. This is not her favorite movies are things like, Singing in the Rain, a Top Hat. I don't know, like something starring like Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy, musicals and whatnot. She doesn't want to watch Chopping Mall, but we're gonna watch Chopping Mall.
And
with
she
her.
likes newer films, too.
She does like newer films, but she's not gonna like Chopping Mall.
Like, you're a cinephile because she's a cinephile.
Absolutely.
But
She's not a trashophile.
No, she's not a trashophile.
And I am definitely.
We are trashophiles.
I love trash. I am an absolute crap hound.
Oh, yeah.
So I am so excited for this.
I can't believe we were talking bad about this film.
I know,
this
right?
is-
No.
It's already next tier.
I am sure this film knows exactly what it's doing. I am not worried at all.
Sorry, I wish you were here, but
But you know what? This
you're
is
down on level below already.
this is exactly the kind
Sorry.
of movie that I think America needs right now. We all need Chopping Mall.
Yeah.
We could do our 3 questions.
We're going to do our 4 questions.
4 questions now. Oh, that's
please.
right. We've expanded. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
dogs.
Go for it. Are there dogs?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I bet there are.
Okay.
I bet there are dogs. There are security dogs, or they're robot dogs.
Oh, that's
right?
different. All right.
Right?
I'll be
Boston
happy with that.
Dynamics, baby. Yeah. Those dogs I just want to kick in the. Well, they don't have a head, but
I feel like if there's a robot dog, it'll be a nice dog compared to the killbots.
the actual killbots that we have now. Yeah, because that's the thing.
I'm just saying, back then, I don't think they had like the cynical view of robot dogs that we have now.
I'm sure
that
they
we've
did.
learned.
No, I take it, dude. Nobody has liked dogs since the Nazis.
K9.
K9.
Everybody likes K9. Muffet.
That's
The Muffet.
the what?
What's his name? The Muffet. Muffet from Battlestar Galactica. The robot dog. Everybody loved that one.
God, you're so old.
Shut
You're
up.
so old.
If you saw him, you'd change your mind.
Sure. I probably did see him, but I was like 3. Anyway. Okay, dogs. Yeah, sure, why not? Robot dogs.
Yeah.
Love triangle. There's always a love triangle. I'm sure it's several teenagers. I'm sure there's like a weird love triangle between them. Right? Why not?
Oh, and the third is death. We know.
Death?
Yeah.
Of course it's death.
Yeah.
There's killbots.
Angry father could be
Yeah.
angry,
Could
like
be
head of the mall or something.
could be that, but it could be also like somebody's angry father who's
Yeah.
like mad that they're at the mall.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I'm sure there's an angry father.
All right, let's go through some horror movie tropes. Sex. People that have sex get killed.
Are we going to see sex in this? Maybe.
Mm.
I don't know. Like my initial instinct would have said no, but knowing that this guy went on to do like vaguely pornographic films, yeah, there might be sex in this. Which again, I am not thrilled about watching this with my mom, but whatever.
I think there's only one person that survives.
No, I think there's more than one person who survives. I bet we get at least 2 teenagers out of this.
Any guesses of what stores will be involved? What kinds
The
of stores?
Bonton.
All right.
This is probably filmed in LA, so maybe Tower Records. I don't know if they had Sam Goody's out there. They were headquartered out of Minneapolis. I think we'll get like a good like Walden Books or B. Dalton in there.
Okay.
I'm thinking about like what else was at the mall? Sharper Image. Yes. I hope that there is a Sharper Image and it like somehow turns against somebody. I don't care if it turns against the robots or against the people.
All right. Who does more destruction to mall property, the robots or the people?
Robots for irony.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're
we-
supposed to be defending this place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Do the robots get defeated by falling into a fountain?
I hope so.
Okay.
You remember when they would start trying to like deploy robots in the New York City subway?
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like you could just kind of push them over, and it was like, why are you sending out these things?
Where's your decent respect?
No, I don't respect anything that doesn't have a soul.
What's that thing at Giant?
Oh, Marty?
Marty.
I hate Marty.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you who are not on the East Coast, we have a bunch of grocery stores that in our area, they're called Giant or sometimes Giant Eagle if you go like more middle of the state. And if you go into New Jersey or up into, what do you call it? Like New England, it's all Stop and Shop and stuff like that. Yeah, the famous Stop and Shop from, Roadrunner, Modern Lovers. Yeah, okay, same company, right? Okay, so they got this robot that they send out into their stores called Marty, and I don't understand what the point of Marty is. It's just like this big, monolith from 2001 wandering the hallways saying, hey, there's a spill here, but they put googly eyes on it as if that's supposed to make me feel better, and it does not. I hate Marty. I hate Marty so much. Every time I see him, my instinct is to kick him. I don't do it because I don't want to get banned from the store because their groceries are cheaper than Wegmans, but I hate Marty so much. I hate that stupid like googly eyes on him. Like this thing should not be there. There's no reason for him to be there, and he gets in my way, and he makes me nervous. I'm just like, this is the surveillance state. Look, Marty is a part of like the whole like fascist takeover of this country. I hate Marty.
And he's huge. Like
he's really big. He's taller than you.
A lot of these stores, they have pretty small aisles, and it's just him going down, and it's it's hard to get around him.
I hate Marty.
Yeah, he sucks.
He's the worst. And the fact that they put
Why do you hate me, Mary?
Well, exactly. They put eyes on him, so they give him a personality, and like the kind of weird animus part of my brain is just like, oh, that's a thing. No, that's not a thing. It doesn't have. There's no soul in there. I gotta keep telling myself that just because it has eyes doesn't mean it has a soul.
The thing about the eyes, though, it's just a big shaft. It's like kind of like a moving Washington Monument practically, and they just put the eyes in the middle of it. It's not even on a head. They're just kind of stuck on the middle.
They're towards the top. They're towards the top.
They're towards the top, but there's not like shoulders or anything.
No,
like it's
just a shaft.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Sorry.
I think when the revolution against the robots comes, like the Bulgarian jihad or whatever it's called.
The one we've been trying in Philadelphia for.
Oh, yes. We all know about Hitchbot.
Yeah.
Marty's going down.
Yeah.
Should we watch this movie?
Yeah, sure.
0000001 0000001 000000111 0000001
Come on, Psycho, lake my battery. The humans are. The humans are. Robo Boogie.
So can I just say, first of all, yes, people are absolutely having sex at the mall after hours. Yes. I've worked at 2 different malls. That's definitely maybe the most realistic element of this entire film. Film. Okay, sure. Film. That's a rather broad term. Yeah. Look, did this give me exactly what I wanted? Yes, it did. I couldn't ask for better. You've got 30-year-olds playing teenagers.
Yeah.
You've got the Sherman Oaks Mall. You've got Killbots.
Oh, and Dick Miller?
You've got Dick Miller.
Yeah.
You've got Dick Miller. This was, of course, produced by the great Roger Corman, R.I.P.
Yeah.
I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, oh, yeah, that absolutely makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, yes, because this was produced by Roger Corman and his wife, Julie Corman, you are going to see a couple of familiar faces. Of course, Dick Miller. Dick Miller, who shows up in a lot of Roger Corman films, a lot of Joe Dante films. Paul Bartel and Mary Warnov show up is amazingly enough, this made me so happy, they're characters from Eating Raoul, in fact, the Blands. I did not know that until the credits were rolling, and I was just like, oh my god, because so the film opens with something that we're all unfortunately familiar with, the idea that, oh, by the way, AI will totally take over your jobs. We don't need to have security guards. We can just have these robots roll through. Yeah. And let me tell you, that's cutting a little close to the bone right now for us and our jobs. But
can't escape reality in this one.
No, isn't that sad?
Yeah.
So yes, the opening is a promo film of, hey, won't it be great when you just have robots acting as the security guards instead of humans, because they'll just roll through and take down all of your bad guys. And so the people reviewing their little promo at the mall include Paul Bartel and Mary Warnov as their characters from Eating Raoul. And oh my God, I was so happy because they're just snarking away at the whole thing.
Apparently they just ad-libbed everything too.
And why not? They're wonderful in that little scene.
Oh, we could use one of those at the store.
No, at the restaurant.
At the restaurant,
yes. And honestly, it would take out a lot of, they wouldn't have to do the killing themselves. I mean, it makes a lot of sense if you really want to go that route. So yeah, this film, it's pretty obvious. You've got a mall, the Sherman Oaks Mall. Yeah. You've got a bunch of people who work at the mall partying after hours.
The classic spark of all robot films is lightning.
I was thinking about that.
This happened.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it goes back to Frankenstein, really.
Yeah.
Who technically is not a robot. He is a revenant, right?
Yeah.
It is a reanimated corpse made of parts, whereas these are, of course, never having been alive robots, right? Made of metal and plastic and whatnot. And look, is that an important distinction? Yes and no. Because I was thinking about this. This film falls into a tradition that goes back to the ancient Greeks of, hey, why do we have to have people doing stuff for us? Why can't we just have robots? The Greeks came up with the idea of the robot. I'm sure there was some Babylonian who had vaguely an idea of boy, wouldn't it be great if these statues would come to life instead of having to pay my workers. But nobody wrote about it until the Greeks. So, the idea of the robot is ancient, and nobody got around to building. Hold on. I'm about to say nobody got around to building a robot. Nobody has still built a robot. Why am I saying nobody got around to it? We still can't do it. That's not a thing. That is not a thing. I don't care what our bosses think. That's not a thing. We can't build robots. Do you remember Elon Musk had some stupid press conference, and it's just oh, we've built a robot, and look, they can move on their own. They're doing all kinds of stuff, and they're dancing around on the floor. And of course, it turned out it was just a dude in a suit, right? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Robots don't exist.
What about those Honda robot things that dance and stuff?
Dennis, when I was a little girl, okay, go back to 1985.
Yeah.
Right? Christmas morning, I remember being woken up. My parents opened the door to my bedroom. Mm-hmm. And you have to understand, the floor in my bedroom was linoleum because we didn't have a lot of money. So it's not like we had carpets on our floors. We had linoleum everywhere.
Probably better for your allergies.
It probably was better for my allergies. So in our bedroom, it was just linoleum. And I remember them opening the door to my bedroom on Christmas morning, and a little Santa toddled in going, ho, 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 and ringing a bell. Okay. This is the level of robots that we still have. Even now, this is all we've got. There are no AI robots. There's no droids. There's no C-3POs. It doesn't exist. All right?
I think there was a C-3PO cereal at one point.
Yes, there was. In fact, I'm pretty sure I ate it, and it was not as good as Captain Crunch. I mean, they keep promising. They keep saying we're going to have robots. And I realize, look, I'm talking about Chopping Mall. This is a silly horror movie, right? This is very dumb. But it is built around a premise that has been with us for over 2,000 years now, right? The idea that we can get rid of our employees, that we don't have to have humans involved, and we can just put in a machine, and the machine will do the exact same thing, and it'll be fine. And every time we tell that story, the story is, by the way, the machines aren't fine. They don't understand what they're doing, and they just kill indiscriminately, right? It's the golem. Do you know what a golem is?
Yeah.
Okay, for those who don't know, golem, it's Jewish folklore. It's this idea of you make a man out of clay and you bring him to life and he's supposed to do stuff for you. And the idea is that he's supposed to protect all of, the Jewish community from, all the terrible people who live near them, i.e., Christians, who are persecuting them. But this is the golem turned on its head because, it doesn't have a thought. It can't actually think. It's just, dead matter moving around, and it's just going to do whatever poorly programmed program it has
The thing is, if there was no lightning, this would have been fine. They would have been happy.
No, they would. No. Here's the thing, because the premise is you've got these robots, and they're going to be the security guards, and they're going to catch the bad guys, and it's going to work out fine. But the thing is, a freak storm blows into Los Angeles, and there's lightning everywhere, and it hits like whatever circuits they're plugged into, and it just changes them, kind of like having a stroke. And now all of a sudden they've all been changed, and they're going to go and run people over. No, okay. I'm sorry. Just because you have a short circuit doesn't mean you're going to turn evil. You were evil to begin with. Robots are always evil. Except for Lizbot. I don't trust robots. They make me very, very, very nervous.
Killbot, though.
Killbot.
Yeah.
Well, but that's just it.
Yeah.
This film was really called Killbots. You can't trust anything that's called a Killbot.
Well, they were called protectors, like peacekeepers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It all matters. What really matters is whether you name things in a way that relieves anxiety. Now, does it actually do it the thing that it's named for? Don't ask. But, as long as it's named the right thing.
Yeah.
What year was RoboCop?
Oh, I think 87.
So this is a year before RoboCop.
Yeah.
All right. This is not as good a film as RoboCop, obviously. No. I mean, I didn't think it was. But, Although I feel like whoever produced RoboCop also had a hand in, if not this, then something related to this, right? It's escaping me, but they're all coming out of the same place, right?
And it has kind of the same satirical.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
This is a film that's only 75 minutes long. It's not a long film. You said this was actually edited, right?
I think it was originally 95 minutes long when it was Killbots.
What did they cut out?
I don't know.
I mean, probably a lot of sex because
there are three couples that get killed,
right?
And maybe we spend more time with their interesting lives.
There are, in fact, 4 couples, 3 of which are killed.
Yeah,
at least 2 of the young women work at a pizza place. A bunch of the guys all work at a furniture store.
Yeah.
There's 2 other young women. I don't remember where they work. Do you?
Oh, the one is, I think she's they're a garage. Remember, there's a couple. They're married.
Sure.
And they run a garage. And they're going to this famous party at the bed store.
The famous party at the bed store,
yeah,
yes.
Where everybody wants to go in L.A.
So you have these people who are all going to converge at the mall after hours.
You have an angry dad.
You do have an angry dad,
I think
actually.
the girl's name is Daisy. Is
one of the girls.
Angry dad, yeah. And she's played by the Reanimator girl.
Barbara Crampton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. There's a couple of people in this film that we've seen before, not just, Dick Miller, who...
And she has by far the best death.
She does actually have one of the best deaths. Yeah. All these young people who are... I mean, look, I understand fashions change and people in the past always look older than they do now, and that's partially just sort of the narcissism of the present, but it is always a little weird when you look at people from the past and you go like, oh, everybody on Cheers was actually probably in their 30s when they were filming, but you look at them and they all look about 50 years old. Depending on who you're talking about, but like they don't look young. They don't look like they're 32, right? I mean, I'm 45, and I think half of them look like my age or maybe older. And maybe let's be honest, maybe I'm just flattering myself. But so all these people are supposed to be young, right, in this film, and they're all supposed to be teenagers. That's what all of the promo material says. 8 teenagers are locked in the mall overnight. And I'm sorry, none of these people are teenagers. They're not even like under 25, right? Like they might actually technically be, some of those actors, they might technically be under 25, but they don't look under 25. Oh my God, I'm so old. Dennis, what happened? Am I dying? Are we dying?
You're fine.
I don't know. Is there going to be like a Killbot who's going to come through the door and just say your time's up?
The thing is, kids nowadays love malls, or by kids, I mean, like, people.
What I was gonna say, what's a kid to you? You're an old man.
I know, 30-year-olds, kids love malls.
Yeah,
but I mean, the whole vaporwave thing, and yeah,
that's true. I totally get it.
Yeah,
like I shouldn't say that I enjoy the whole vaporwave or I'm fascinated by liminal spaces or like all that weird nostalgia for a time that they didn't live through, but I did. And that's, like, am I feeding off of this a little bit? But anyway, so yes, you have all of these young people who are converging at the mall. Some of them already work there and some of them are going to hang out there because they know people. And they're going to hang out at the furniture store because that's where people are having an after hours party. The people who own the mall have already decided to, like, let's just have killbots instead of like actual security guards. Couples are all hanging out in the bed store, and you've got janitors who are cleaning up the mall, which, is what you have to do. And, here's poor Dick Miller, who is, mopping his way through the atrium and whatnot. And a robot comes up to him, is just like, show me your badge. And he's just like, well, okay, fine. Here's my badge. Leave me alone. We're on the same page here. And the robot is just like, yeah, I'm going to kill you.
Well, he started it.
How?
Okay, so the robot started by spilling water on him because that was kind of a jerk thing.
Yes.
But then he throwing his mop at the thing and
hey, again, the robot started it.
Yeah.
First by being a robot, and second of all by throwing the water on him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
I take it back.
Anyway, so the robot
I retract my statement.
Overruled. So the robot kills Dick Miller.
And it's killed 2 computer guys?
Yeah, in the central nervous system of the mall. You have a bunch of CCTV cameras and whatnot that they're watching, but also they've got some robots in there. And, because the robots have been struck by lightning, they come to life and they kill the scientists.
I will say, these deaths were not impressive.
No, of course not.
It should have had, the claw around his neck and squeezing or something, but it's just, slashing and then blood on the neck. And I don't know. Even your mom was like, that's not very... I was expecting more blood on this one.
Once these guys are dead, and once the janitors are dead, the killbots turn their ire onto our group of
heroes.
Yeah, sure, we'll call them that. People having sex in the mall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for the lead two.
Except for
not
the people
having sex,
look, okay.
watching Roger Corman films.
That's true. So here's the thing. This film, of course, follows the horror convention of the people who are not having sex actually are the ones who survive to the end of the film. And the ones who do have sex, including the married couple, get killed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a little extreme. They are united in holy matrimony and they still can't have sex. Okay, granted, it's like in the mall. I suppose that's probably breaking some sort of a law. But come on. How puritanical a film do you have to make? Anyway, so yeah. And the rest, the film is just the robots hunting them down through the mall, and so it's a lot of fun. So you have a scene of the women all crawling through the ductwork, much like a year later, I guess it is, Die Hard.
Yeah.
A year or two later.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny how
the huge ductwork that exists everywhere
in movies. Oh my God, the ductwork in this thing is huge. I mean, I swear to God, I've been in hallways that were smaller, but they're crawling around on their bellies. You've got all the guys who raid a sporting goods store called Peck and Paws Sporting Goods, which is a nice touch. And they load up on guns and start shooting at the robots.
Oh, what was this? There was another store that had a good name that. So there were no famous stores really. It was all kind of in jokes.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a film with a lot of in jokes. When the first guy who encounters a robot, he does say "Klaatu Barada Nikto," which I very much appreciated as a fan of The Day the Earth Stood Still. The only, I guess, not even well-known store in the mall. My sister knows there was a store, Licorice Pizza, and that is actually was a record store in the LA area, which I think only now most people know as the name of a Paul Thomas Anderson film.
Yeah.
But otherwise, a lot of the store names were kind of in jokes. So yeah, the guys load up on guns. The girls are worming their way through the ducts, and it's kind of like the other survive in a mall films, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they take what they can to fight off the robots, and they are slowly picked off one by one. Barbara Crampton gets her head exploded.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
So like the whole beginning of the film is showing like all the weapons these robots have. They have like a taser thing, and they have like these claws. And then when the action starts, suddenly the robots have lasers they shoot from their faces. It's like, oh, okay, we have lasers.
Yeah, exactly. Like the claws don't even do very much.
No, they just kind of raise them over their head, like, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, these people get kind of picked off with lasers. It's fine. You know, heads get exploded. People get knocked over and bashed into the ground, and you know, I don't know. It's a lot of fake blood.
How many boobs do we see? Do we see?
Oh my God, at least 4.
Yeah.
4, maybe 6.
Yeah.
There's never an odd number of boobs. I'll give them that. We're not getting into Total Recall territory, but yeah, there's some topless scenes in this. You know, it's got this is a very 80s film.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely. It's rated R, and I have to think it's rated R purely for the boobs and blood.
The boobs and the head.
Yeah,
I think.
the head
I think,
exploding.
Like most of the other violence is not great.
Oh
It's
God,
just-
no.
It's just the head one that's
Yeah.
great, and it is great.
Oh my God, yes, her head blowing up is fantastic.
Because her boyfriend goes to get cigarettes. He gets his throat cut or something, and then something dumb. And then she's running back, and all of them are in the store watching her through the glass, and then you just see her head go. It was perfect.
It really, it was beautiful.
Scanner style. Yeah.
Scanners is a film we actually have to cover at some point, but I am familiar with the scene of a guy having his head explode. So, and I do like a couple of things. One, the guys when they get their guns refer to that they're going to give the robots a Rambogram.
Yes. They blow up one of the robots, and they say like, "What's coming out of it?" And the other says, "It's robot blood."
At which point, my sister did point out that transmission fluid is often red.
Yeah.
And told a story about the Hall of Presidents down at Disney World, where the Abraham Lincoln robot, you know.
I think that was at the World's Fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, the Abraham Lincoln robot apparently was bleeding, so you know that's fun.
The catchphrase of the robots is, I think, like "Thank you, have a nice day" or something like that. Every time they kill someone.
And the other thing that struck me in this is, again, it's referencing older films. They're trying to blow up the robots, so they're grabbing all kinds of canisters and trying to shoot at the canisters, like the ending of Jaws.
Yeah.
But what I appreciate is they're very bad at it. They can never hit the canisters, like over and over again. They just keep missing. Now, granted, they're trying to do this for like dramatic effect, but also, come on, you're not going to hit that canister. You know, like I love the end of Jaws. Everybody,
except for Kelli Maroney. Well, after hiding in a pet store and having like snakes and
oh my
spiders
God,
on her.
she is covered in tarantulas like she's in an Indiana Jones movie. It is horrifying. I don't care about anybody's head getting blown off. I don't care about any gore. She is covered in spiders. That's enough for me.
But she's in the paint store. She throws paint on the ground and paint thinner. Taunts the robot into there, and then throws a flare at it.
A flare that she's been carrying around in her sweater for half the film.
Yeah.
So
Chekhov's flare.
Exactly. Yeah. And that blows up the last of the robots. So
Ferdy, I think that her
boyfriend who they never have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he's dead because he falls down and there's blood coming out of his head.
There's blood everywhere.
There's blood everywhere, but it turns out he puts the toilet paper to it. He's fine, and true love wins.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's literally just the end of the film.
Yeah.
They're the two people still alive at the mall by the time day breaks.
Yeah. Because at 6 a.m., then the super doors open, and yeah, and then they have to work for 60 years to pay it all off, according to the one character.
I mean, aren't we all in that situation these days?
Yeah.
You know what? This movie gave me exactly what I wanted. It's dumb. It's violent. It's got boobs. It's stupid.
It's got Jordache jeans.
It's got... Did they have Mrs. Fields cookies?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, maybe it's not perfect.
Yeah.
You know what they don't have on the West Coast? Or maybe they do now, but they certainly didn't back then. Annie Ann's pretzels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
you people don't know what you're missing. Annie Ann's pretzels are great.
I don't know if that was a thing back then, though, in the 80s.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
No. Auntie Anne's pretzels only existed in Pennsylvania.
And Spencer's? I feel like Spencer's wasn't around yet.
No, Spencer's
That's
Gifts
kind
has
of a
been
later.
around for a long time.
Okay.
Look, there are definitely people who remember Spencer's Gifts in the 80s. Like, where else are you going to buy a dildo at the mall?
Yeah.
Why did you bring up Spencer's Gifts?
Sorry.
Oh. It's true, though.
I love the Spencer's levels of, like there's the kid stuff in the front and then it just, and then it turns into like black lights and
Marital aids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the marital aids are in the back. Like it's like
Yeah.
it's like these levels of hell or something.
All right, so that was Chopping Mall, starring Kelly Maroney, Tony O'Dell, Russell Todd, Carrie Emerson, Barbara Crampton, Nick Siegel, John Terlesky, Susie Slater, Paul Bartel, and Mary Warrenoff, of course, show up at the beginning, and Dick Miller. And it was written and directed by Jim Wynorski.
I have a story. So Jim Wynorski, when casting the film, said, well, Kelly Maroney, he had seen her in another film. She knew she was good, and he wanted to date her. Yeah, I'm sorry.
God.
It was in Wikipedia. I had to bring it up.
Did you have to bring this up?
Sorry.
Did you have to bring the room down? All right. All right, listen, you can follow us on social media. We're Mary Various Movies on all of your major platforms, more or less. So we are on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Mastodon, whatever you're looking for, Facebook. Mary VS Movies. If you can't find us that way, look for Mary versus the Movies. We are on all of your major platforms where you can rate and review the show. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you... TikTok, yeah. Well, yeah. I guess we're not putting the podcast on TikTok, but we're on YouTube, where you can also rate and review the show and leave comments and all the rest of it. We have a Patreon where you can help support the show for $3 a month. You can help us pay for things like the server costs and renting movies and all the rest of it, because, as you know, we do not have ads. We are not on a network. This is all coming out of our pockets, and that's fine. But if you want to help support us, because this does cost money, $3 a month, patreon.com/MaryVSMovies, and you get access to our whole other show, Hollywood Avalon, where we watch Arthurian movies. And yes, that is anything from Excalibur to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade to The Kid Would Be King to Bugs Bunny cartoons. It is a lot of fun. You also get access to our newsletter, which is, comes out usually just about every episode. Sometimes it doesn't happen just because, we got a lot going on. But the newsletter, we talk about the movies that we're watching, talk about the movie of the week, talk about things that we are watching otherwise. Dennis sometimes draws some really great comics. We review pizza. It's a lot of fun. Sign up for that. Write to us at maryvsmovies@gmail.com. You can also write to us with any comments, questions, complaints, or suggestions. The last couple of weeks we did listener requests, in fact. So we love to have people recommend movies to us. In fact, even Chopping Mall tonight was a recommendation from my sister. So, yes, please write to us. We would love to hear from you.
Oh, I had one thing.
Yeah.
So at the end of the film, like, we kind of have a great train robbery type of ending where suddenly another robot just shows up and says, "Thank you, have a nice day," and looks at you.
I guess it's a little bit of a great train robbery.
It's a little bit.
Is the great train robbery to you like the first time you have a stinger scene?
Well, it's a stinger scene that makes no sense because like that character is dead. This is not a thing that happened.
That's a good point because like the
'cause
great train
and the same thing with Goodfellas. So it's sort of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Next week, it is going to be March, and we're going to start Dennis versus the Movies month. So I have a feeling, I don't know for sure, but we're going to watch one of two Tom Hanks films.
Okay.
In fact, maybe we'll even do a flip of the coin.
Whoa.
There are two Tom Hanks films that I thoroughly enjoyed as a young person, and that you have never seen.
Huh.
Right? So.
Big and Splash?
No, Dennis, I saw both of those as a kid.
I saw both too.
Yes. No. So the two films that, as far as I know, you've never seen.
Yep.
All right. You have the Joe Dante satire, The Burbs.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it many, many times. Or
Mm-hmm.
Joe versus the Volcano. You've never seen Joe versus the Volcano, right?
Right.
Right, okay.
Or
So-
the Man with One Red Shoe.
Yeah, we'll do the Man with One Red Shoe at some point because
Okay.
I've never seen that one. But these are two Tom Hanks films that I grew up with, and I can't wait to have you have to sit and watch. So, flip a coin. We'll do both during this month, but it depends on like the one we're gonna do for the next episode. Is it gonna be heads, Joe versus the Volcano?
Do we have heads? We don't have heads.
Okay, you're still using this Euro piece. Why are you using a Euro piece? All right.
Do you have a coin?
I don't.
Okay.
Heads is gonna be the side with a building on it, and we'll make that the Burbs. Okay. Heads will be the
Burbs.
Burbs. Tails will be Joe versus the Volcano. So
It's Burbs.
yeah, you're right. It is definitely the Burbs. Okay, so the next episode will be the Burbs. So until next time.
I guess I'm not used to being chased around a mall in the middle of the night by killer robots.